Tasha. I am your host today. And this month we are celebrating young entrepreneurs, young Black entrepreneurs who have done extraordinary things and are expected to do much more extraordinary things. And today I am here with the beautiful, the talented Kenya Freeman. Hey, Kenya.
Hello, hello, hello. So my brand is Sylvia Molly. And so with Sylvia Molly, we are branching into a whole new arena, and that is catering to the curvy girl. So at first, starting out, Sylvia Molly was a brand that catered to sizes 2 to 16. And I think that as my career developed, and because I am also a full size girl, all the curvy girls are like, well, wait a minute, where's my size? And I think it was like just the natural evolution of it all. And now we are, rebranding, and we will now be serving, and catering to the girls that are sizes 10 to 20. And
Yes.
I'm very excited about, making sure the girls that look like me have beautiful clothes to wear.
And that's always the goal too. And it you put more passion behind it when you do something that also fits you as well because you understand. So there's an understanding behind it when you do something like I love to do fashion, I love to do this, and you're not doing it just to be popular or just for fame. You're doing it because you're like, there's something missing and I'm going to fill that need. So
Hmm.
that's
Yeah.
that's very positive that you're doing something that fits a need and something that
Yes.
caters to people like you, people that look like you, people that
Yeah.
like your size, and I love it. I
Yes.
love it. So,
Yes.
where did the inspiration for being a fashion designer come from? Like, when did you decide you wanted to be a fashion designer?
It all started as a kid. I always wanted to be fabulous. That was my goal. As a young girl, my goal was to get up in the morning and be cute. I had no other assignment in life. When I was in the 11th grade, every day I had to have a cute outfit, a new outfit, and when it was time to graduate, well, go to be a senior, I did not pass. And so I had to take uh, night school. I had to go to
Mhm.
summer school, but I also had to take the co-ed, the co-op course, and it was
Oh,
either woodwork or fashion merchandising. And of course, I took fashion merchandising,
so that kind
and
of worked out for you,
it
right?
was it was that it was that course, that class, particularly that teacher that saw something in me and knew that I could do better and greater things.
And I
And
love
that's really how I got into wanting to, venture off and go to college for fashion and that sort of thing, because of that teacher and that particular course. And you know how life just is such an interesting thing
yes,
and how it works. I'm like,
yes,
had I not almost not graduated, I
right.
thought I would have never taken that course. And so, and then the rest is history.
That's crazy because it always feels like something happens in your life to set you up for the rest of your life. And people probably look at it like it's a negative. Like when it was happening to you, you was like, this is so negative. This is bad. But then you got your options and it was like, are you opening this door for me? Wait a
Yep.
minute. This is the door. So you took advantage. You made a negative, could have been a negative situation into a positive. So you
Yep.
took advantage of that. And that speaks a lot about who you are and where you're planning to go because you're like, you know what, I made some mistakes or things that, they're not even mistakes. This is a life lesson. I learned from my lesson and you turned it a lemon, what to say, lemon into lemonade.
Hmm.
So, and you
Hmm.
absolutely, that's a big
Sparkling
thing.
lemonade.
Sparkling lemonade. Now, when you got out of school, who was your biggest supporters? Like, who supported you the most in your journey to be a fashion designer? Or were there people who were like, yeah, right,
Oh, there were lots of people that are like, you are insane.
right.
Tons of those. But it was my mom. My mom has been my biggest cheerleader and headache. Cheered me on. I'm talking about from like pulling into her 401k to
Wow.
like, and my mom got a part-time job just to get me like sewing machines, fabrics, and even help with college. Like we didn't come from a well-to-do family. So college was expensive.
Right.
So my mom did everything just to make sure that I had everything. Even when she didn't understand it, even when she just wanted me to just go be that nurse,
But
draw
she,
that blood, get that
right.
money, and
But
then make
something
clothes
in
sometime.
but something in her believed in
Well,
you. It was
yeah,
something in her. It was like, I believe in you. I see the
yeah,
passion. I see the drive. And as a mother myself, I can understand that. It's like, I understand. You see your kids and you're like, I see it. And it
yeah,
always takes that one person to kind of lift us up. Like my dad was that person, my mom was that person. So I
yeah.
totally get it.
I used
Um,
to also have like all the fashion magazines, right?
mhm, mhm.
And that's the one thing I will always buy was every fashion magazine. And I would pull all the pictures out of the fashion magazines. And crazy enough, just about my mom just renovated her house about 6 years ago. It
Mhm.
just came down 6 years ago.
Wow.
She left my mom left my room the exact same way as a kid. But I had since high school like all of the pictures of all the models with all the hot clothes from like
Uh-huh.
Bazaar and Vogue and all that type of stuff all over my wall because I'm like, I want to design that. I want to look like that. I want to be right there. Like it was
Yes.
a whole thing.
What was your favorite fashion magazine? Well, where was your biggest inspiration from? What magazine?
Oh, it was Vogue.
Vogue,
Vogue was a
yes.
big deal. That was like
Yes.
the magazine. The
Yes.
magazine. I
The
had
magazine.
every yeah, my mom used to fuss at me because she was like, throw those magazines away, they're getting all over my house.
Did you ever make a vision board? Like, was there a vision board or was it
My
just
wall was the vision board. Like my
absolutely?
my room literally looked like Vogue fashion wallpaper.
Yes.
The
So
whole thing. The
do you
door, the wall, everything.
do you feel like what was on your vision board do you see what was on your vision board at this point in your life? Anything that
Yeah,
was on your
it's
vision board, do you see it?
the scary thing about like where I'm at and where I'm going is like watching my own movie in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the things that a lot of the things that I wanted, didn't even know I wanted some
Mm-hmm.
things are like showing themselves or I have seen them or I have experienced. It is a
Mm-hmm.
wild, sometimes I'll be like, I cry sometimes. I'm just like, this is crazy. But
Yes.
so many great things happen that I've either had on a wall or I've said out loud or,
Yes.
I've just thought about and wanted to do. They are literally have happened or are happening in real time. It's
Right.
wild.
Your
Like,
was Project Runway on your vision board?
absolutely not. So, like most, I've seen every single episode, and I used to like judge really, really bad, like everyone for making mistakes or like you can't make real clothes. And then when I got there, I had to really say like put into the universe to everybody who I like talk crap about. I'm like, I am so sorry. I take back everything that I said because I'm like, this is bananas. But one day, so I had hit like I feel like what rock bottom at that particular time. And what a lot of people don't know is that I had to move back to Virginia to my mama's house that year. And I was at my mom's house feeling like an adult failure.
Oh,
And it was one day, it was just something just said, apply for Project Runway. And I'm like, Project Runway. I just got it. It was like I'm like, like that shit, no. So I did. I procrastinated. I messed around. I messed up the application terribly. I mean, like terribly. And I was literally filling in like Mickey Mouse pictures just to get through
wow.
the application and be done with it. Cause it's like almost 2 o'clock in the morning, had to be done it, turn in at midnight. I'm just like, well, the very next day, I got a phone call and they were like, "Hey, is this for Project Runway?" And I'm like, "Are you calling me to tell me how bad I did? Like what are
Really?
you?" They were like, "We want you to come to the next round of interviews." And I was like, "Why?"
Wait a minute, your first time filling out
Yeah,
an application to Project Runway,
yeah,
and you felt like I'm just doodling, I'm just doing whatever. Girl, that
yeah,
was like, I mean, I don't want to throw it out there. That was I'm a godly person, girl. That was God.
yeah.
Like,
I told my mom that because I'm like, this had to been like what was designed specifically for me. But you know what
yes.
was interesting at the end of that phone conversation? And then he was like, "Oh, and by the way, send me some good photos."
Wow. That is no, that is amazing that you
Yeah,
did it one time. You got
yeah.
on there your first go round. How far did you
Mhm.
get?
Oh, Fashion Week, darling.
You got Fashion Week?
Yeah. Come
Yes.
on.
Yes. Okay. And wait a minute, it was season what,
16.
16.
Yes.
And you
Which
got all
is
the way to Fashion
actually,
Week.
as
Uh-huh.
I would say, because I'm biased, but the best season that they've ever
Yes.
had. And
You
let me
have to
tell you
say.
why
You
I would say that.
uh-huh.
One is the very last season with Tim and Heidi.
Okay.
And also it's the first season that they've ever had plus size models.
Yes, plus that. Yeah.
Ever.
So you had a lot to and that's a good thing for you. Like you said, that was all supposed to happen like it was supposed to. First
Yeah.
season for plus size, that was your whole brand. Like, this is what I
Yeah.
want to brand. You didn't have to change who you were to go where you wanted to get. Like, it was
Yeah.
like this was all, like you said, it was all designed for you.
It was all
Um,
designed just for me.
all designed for you. So after Project Runway, how did, because you have a very good collaboration going on right now, how did we get to, how did Shein X get in? Like, tell me that journey from Project Runway to your Shein X collaboration.
They stalked me so bad, you know. I don't, you know what? Again, you know how things are just by design, right?
Mhm.
It's so interesting because I laugh about it because my little cousins used to love. When I say love Shein, I'm talking about buy everything. Like, oh, what do you want for your birthday? We want to get some stuff from Shein, Shein, Shein. And I'm like, who is Shein? Like, who is
That
that?
is that is my niece and my daughter. Like, I'm like, what's she? And then I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, okay.
right. And so that same summer, I was going to Mexico, and I'm like, you know what? Let me try this brand out, you know. And I bought a bunch of bathing suits and cover ups, and I'm like, you know, good price, not too bad. I'm like, okay, this is great. And sure enough, that was August. That September or October, I got an email, and it was like, you know, it was from the Shein team, and I'm like, is this spam? They're just trying to give me a 10% off code. I just bought some stuff. I don't
Why
want no
we
more
think
clothes.
everything is spam? Why we think
Right.
everything is spam?
And I'm like, yeah, I'm like, it's just gonna follow up with like, here's 15% off. Like they're just trying to act like they're trying to be nice to me, right?
Right.
And it was a whole email, and they emailed me back. They were like, hey, we're introducing Shein X. We want you to. I'm like, you want me? Really? Me? And so we went through the process, and really, the rest is history. Like we're a big happy family.
That is amazing. Explain to me how the Shein X program works. Like, what exactly, how is that for other people who don't know what the
Yeah.
Shein X program is? Explain that to me.
So it's pretty much magic. So as a designer, you always want to be in a place where you can share your design. You want the world to know who you are, right? And
Right.
for a lot of designers like me who are small brands, the visibility sometimes just isn't there.
Mm-hmm.
So Shein actually gives you the opportunity to say, hey, as a small brand, create a design, any design you want that speaks to you and who you are as a brand, and let's put it on our platform and let's make you some money.
Wow.
And I'm just like,
Absolutely. Yes. Let's do this.
and I'm
Girl,
like, air hug,
this was all
yeah, air hug. Like,
yes,
air hug.
this was totally all designed for you, because
Yes.
it sounds like you had, of course, you had things that went on in your life, but
Mm-hmm.
all the things set you up for this is next. This is
Yes.
next. And what you did was listen. A lot
Yeah.
of people do not listen. And you
Yeah.
listened, you took the paths, you did the work, and
Yeah.
you're here now on Atlanta News First speaking with us about your about speaking to us about your brand, your collaboration. And what words of encouragement would you give someone that is might have been in the same spot as you? Like you said, you had to go back to your mom's.
Yeah.
You felt like you failed, but see where you are now. What words of encouragement would you give people that in the same position as you were?
Don't stop. Don't stop. I think that so many times, you know, like we have like, you know, that inner person inside of us, and we have these grand ideas because we all have like these talents and abilities to do things, but financially it doesn't make sense, or it doesn't. You've been working at it and it's just not working out. Just don't ever give up. I feel like at any time that I would have given up, like the opportunities I have now have had, and God knows the crazy wild adventure that's ahead of me, right?
Right,
I won't get a chance to experience that. And
right.
so you just can't stop. You know, like I know sometimes when you have a vision and you want to do something great, you aren't in a position financially to do it. So if you gotta like work that part-time job at night while you go and be great during the day during you, whatever it takes, just don't ever, ever, ever give up on it.
And
You owe it to yourself to see it through. I think that I always say like I'm not the greatest designer, but I am one of the hardest working ones.
girl, you better say you the greatest designer. Don't look,
Well,
don't
I
say
say that
you better
because
say you the greatest
there
designer.
are I say that because I think that I'm great, but like there's always someone that's always going to be better and at some level, but do they work harder than me?
Right, right.
And that is what's, and a lot of times it's not who's always the best at something, it's who wants it more and
Who
who's
wants
willing
it?
to work the hardest to get it.
Right,
Because somebody, even the person that's the greatest at it, at some point they're gonna let go because they don't see it's not making sense.
right.
So I always say, don't let it go. I actually have one of the we have a nonprofit that we're working on right now,
Mm-hmm.
that we're trying to launch in the next 2 to 3 years, and it is pretty much, it's called Molly's House after my brand,
Mm-hmm.
and it is that like almost like an incubator space or like a safe space for like designers. It's like a 2 year space. They can live in this house for 2 years as they're working on the next project or whatever that they're
Wow.
working on, because I know what it's like to be like that starving artist. Like literally, I've slept
Right.
in my car. I've slept in my car. I've had a friend of mine to buy a sleeping bag so I can sleep on the floor of my studio. Like I know what those things mean.
Wow.
And so like
Right.
why not? And when you're like don't know where you're gonna live, it can really, put a real stopping place in your creative space, right?
Right.
So we're gonna have that space where they can live for 2 years. They can live there, work on the next project, and have people who are excelling in whatever that creative space that they're in to help them to take it to the next level. And then we'll bring in a next batch of people to come in and help them do the exact same thing. Like
That's amazing.
none of us can do this by ourselves. We need
Right.
each other.
Right.
Okay.
So where did the name of your brand come? Where did it come from? Where did it originate and the story behind it?
Well, originally I was something else. And being a young designer, not knowing the business and how it works with like trademarks and everything. Long story short, I got a cease and desist from another brand. And they were like, oh no, 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 no.
Oh, wow.
And I went home crying to my mama. And I was just like, I had put so much money into like marketing and stuff with this particular name. And as I sat there that night and I'm like, I know exactly what the name of my brand is going to be. And so it's Sylvia Molly. Sylvia is my mother, and Molly is my grandmother. And these are the two most powerful women that I've ever known, still to this day have ever met, and my biggest support system. And how again how we talk about things happening the way they're supposed to happen. It
Yes.
was by design that that was supposed to be what my brand is called, and I stand very strongly, very proud to have all. And also now my mom is like, you have to take care of me now because
I was
my
gonna say,
name is
I was
what
gonna say that.
is my
That
name, so
that's a really, and I would have never thought that because when you hear it, it sounds so, I'm not gonna say foreign, but it sounds like, it sounds like it's supposed to sound like high design. Like you're
you
gonna be
think
like,
so?
it very sounds like a high brand. Yes, Sylvia Molly, like, yeah, it does.
So this particular jacket that I am wearing and the print that you are also currently wearing. So when this is the okay, so when I came on with Shein, which is right now 2 years ago because it's Shein anniversary, but exactly 2 years ago when we came on, I designed this jacket. But this particular jacket was a full print, just like your jacket. But when I designed it and sent the tech pack over, I only put the print on one half of the jacket. And and that was only so that they could see the scale of the print and how
Mhm.
large it needs to be on the jacket. Well, not knowing that they would take it in the literal sense and literally only put it on one half of the jacket. So when we got the samples back, I was like, well, maybe They just also want me to see how to feel what
Oh,
the print is gonna do. And when they, when they start making a lot of them, then they'll put it on the whole thing.
right.
And so I asked them, they were like, no, it's only on one half. And I'm like, it's the funniest thing because I'm like, they literally did exactly what was on the paper. But then after looking at it, I was like, that actually might be kind of cute.
Yes.
Do it on one
Yes.
half.
Yes.
And the wildest thing about that is all of this happened, of course, during the pandemic, right?
Mhm.
And I was not essential, like whatsoever.
Right.
And I'm just like, okay, we got studio bills, we got apartment bills, we got all this stuff. And this jacket, when I say literally, I mean literally kept the lights on.
Really? So you've been selling this jacket.
Yes.
So with your pieces that you have right now, where can we get your pieces that you have right now? Are they
So
available? Is that the
right
question?
now, at this very moment, while you're on your phones clicking and playing, you have to go to Shein and look for Sylvia Molly, which is my brand name. And you will see this jacket. You will see this lovely outfit that my darling new friend is here is wearing.
Yes.
Please shop. The most important thing is shopping Shein X supports a small brand. And it supports a small brand like me. And if people don't understand, $1 to $5 to $100 makes all the difference for a small brand. It could be the difference of a bill being paid, some fabric being ordered. Like Shein X is really doing a major thing by allowing small brands to sell their product on their platform. That
Okay.
is huge because Shein has a huge network and market of people who are looking at their clothes on their website on a regular basis.
Appreciate you taking your time out to come to talk with me and promote. And again, like I said, we're celebrating you. It's Black History Month. You're a Black woman, and you are doing major things. You have a great collaboration, and you're gonna go very, very far. So
Thank you.
again, I want to celebrate you, give you your flowers
Which
now.
you,
So thank you again for coming to chat with me. Again,
yes.
we're going to close out with Atlanta News First. I'm your host, Natasha, and this is Kenya Freeman with her brand, Sylvia Molly.